Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I know we are late today, but I have something special, something interesting, something new in this channel. Politics is a game of numbers, real or perceived. And because politics is a game of numbers, I want us to look at some counties in this country which are giving William Ruto serious political headache. Then tomorrow, I'm also going to look into some counties which are giving Raila Odinga serious headache. Because these counties are going to determine whether Ruto will be the president or whether Raila Odinga will be president. And I'm going to use the figures. So let me begin. For one to be declared the president of the Republic of Kenya, there are certain parameters they must meet. One of them is that they must get at least 25% in more than half of the counties. So we have 47 counties. So which means for you to be declared the president, you must get at least 25% of the votes in at least 24 counties. Uhuru and Raila managed to get that in the last two elections. I am sure William Ruto and Raila Odinga, both of them, will easily get 25% of the votes in at least 24 counties. Then the next requirement is for you to get 50% plus one vote. This is where there's a problem, and it boils down to game of numbers. The politics of this country is influenced by several factors. One of the factors is actually tribal politics. How are tribes going to vote? So William Ruto is actually banking on the support of the Mountain or the Kikuyu nation or the Mount Kenya region and the Kalenjin. And now he's hoping that across the country is also going to fare well. Raila Odinga is also banking on his traditional support base. That is the Luo Nyanza or the Nyanza region, the coastal region, western. But William Ruto is also coming with a wave in some of his previously strongholds. Now, let us look at the counties which are giving William Ruto serious political headache. The first county is Nairobi. The question is, why is Nairobi giving William Ruto political headache? According to 2022 IBC figures, Nairobi has 2.5 million voters, registered voters. That's huge. 2.5 is huge. How did they perform in the past elections? I'm going to use the 2013 figures because 2017 figures are not there. In 2013, Uhuru and Raila, both of them scored fairly well. Raila won by scoring 49% of Nairobi. Uhuru managed 46%. So what is worrying Ruto in Nairobi is whether he will be able to get that 46%. Because if you look at 2017, before the nullified election, the results were almost the same. So the issue disturbing Ruto is whether he will be able to manage to sustain that 46%. You know why this is interesting is because you can't say that Ruto is now getting the support of Mudavadi. In 2013, Musalia Mudavadi was on the ballot. So Uhuru got 46, Raila 49. And Uhuru support base were actually the Kikuyu. So the question is, with Polycarp Igathe running as a Kikuyu gubernatorial candidate, and with the fallout between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Uhuru Kenyatta, what percentage will go with President Uhuru Kenyatta to Raila Odinga? Because if Uhuru himself, with the full support, got 46%, he's now not supporting Ruto, what percentage of his support base will go with Raila? So that's the biggest headache giving Ruto problem. Let's say that they're going to split that 46%. Uhuru going with the 10. 10% will mean that Ruto is going to get 36%. Okay? And let's assume that Musalia Mudavadi will sway the Luhya nation, which he couldn't do in 2013. Then can he sway 10% of the lawyers to dump ODM or to dump Raila and vote for Ruto? So that's the biggest headache, Nairobi. Again, without winning Nairobi, it's also very difficult for you to be declared the president. Number two, Kiambu County. Kiambu County. According to IBC figures, Kiambu has 1,293,000 registered voters. 2.3 million registered voters. Kiambu, a single county. Just get that in your head. In 2013, Uhuru Kenyatta managed to get 90.2% of the entire Kiambu. 90. Raila Odinga at that time in Kiambu got 7%. You know, Kiambu is kind of cosmopolitan. And there were beliefs that even that 90.2 which Uhuru got in Kiambu, there were strong feelings that Raila Odinga performed better than the 7%. The worry in William Ruto's camp is whether Ruto will be able to get the support the way Uhuru got. Uhuru got 90.2. Because of the turnout, they were able to carry people from hospital beds to go and retain and protect the presidency from leaving the house of Mumbi. Will Ruto manage to get that in Kiambu? The other worry is that Uhuru Kenyatta is now supporting Raila. If Raila got 7% in Kiambu, without Uhuru, as Uhuru the main opponent, what percentage out of this 90% of Kiambu people will be going to Raila Odinga's camp or to vote for Raila Odinga? If they are going to be 30%, 30% of 1.2 million, that's huge. And that's a big problem. Remember, in the last election, in the entire Mount Kenya region, Raila Odinga got only 88,000 votes. So which means in Kiambu alone, if Uhuru will manage to convince only 30% of them to remain with him, 30%, that would be lots of votes. Lots of votes for Raila Odinga. That's around 400,000 in Kiambu. So Raila Odinga getting close to 400,000 votes in Kiambu would be huge. Huge. So that's something which is worrying the DP. And you can also understand why Raila Odinga settled on someone from the Kikuyu Nation. The fourth county, sorry, the third county which is giving Ruto political headache is Meru. Meru has 780,000 registered voters. 780,000. In 2013, Uhuru Kenyatta got 90% of the votes. Raila got 7.5%. You get that? Raila Odinga is currently being supported by the governor of Kiambu, of Meru. Is being supported by former governor of Meru, Peter Munya, and a host of several leaders from Meru. What is disturbing Ruto is that with the 780,000 votes, if 30% of these guys will go to Raila, that would be huge. Because, let's face it, Even in the last election, President Uhuru Kenyatta had to convince Munya not to support Raila, because by Peter Munya supporting Raila would have changed the equation. This 7.5% of Raila got would have increased. So seeming in Meru, because of the efforts of Peter Munya, the effort of Kiraitu, Raila will get 30% or 40%. That will be huge also. So Ruto is not sleeping because of these realities, because now we are looking at the reality. We are talking of Meru as a county with 780,000 registered voters. Raila Odinga got 7%. Uhuru got 89%. Uhuru by that time had the support of the entire county. Assuming only 30% of these people will leave and support Uhuru. Serious there. The fourth county, which is giving Ruto serious political headache, but not serious, is Kakamega. In 2013, Uhuru got 2% in Kakamega. Raila got 63%. Mudavadi got 31%. You know, Mudavadi was a presidential candidate at that time. Mudavadi got 31%. So which means those 31% never were not with Raila. What will happen to Kakamega now? Will William Ruto manage to lock Raila Odinga out of Kakamega? Is there a chance that 50% of voters in Kakamega will not support Raila Odinga? Because Kakamega is one of the largest voting blocks. Kakamega, Raila Odinga might just retain that support base. That will be trouble, because if Ruto is losing in Kiambu, then he ought to gain somewhere by almost a similar margin. Now let's complete that. The fifth county is Kirinyaga. And very interesting, Kirinyaga County is the home county to Martha Karua, who is Raila Odinga's running mate. Is the home county to Karanja Kibicho. Kirinyaga. Kirinyaga in 2013 had 378,000 registered voters. Uhuru Kenyatta got 96% in Kirinyaga, which means Raila got 1.4%. The question is, and I'm asking you this question looking straight into your eyes, and I'm expecting your answer. Do you think Raila ticket and Martha Karua ticket cannot generate 50% or 60% in Kirinyaga? Assuming they cannot generate that, do you think the ticket cannot generate 40%? You understand why William Ruto is a worried man. And that's why in his latest campaign strategy, he's now covering the entire region and he has split the teams. Because if Raila was to get 40% of Kirinyaga alone, that would even be more than what he got in the last election. I hope you guys are now understanding why Raila Odinga decided to pursue Mount Kenya. Now, let's go to county number 6, which is giving Ruto serious headache. Uasin Gishu. In the last election, which is 2013, I'm using the 2013 figures. In 2013, they gave Uhuru and Ruto 74%. Raila had 21. Just mark that. Raila had 21. The votes in Uasin Gishu, those who voted for Raila, were actually genuine supporters of Raila. 21%. This substantial number of Kikuyus in Uasin Gishu, assuming this forms 10% of that 74%, which voted for Uhuru Ruto, how many of these people will stick with Uhuru. Because I'm told there's an influential MC there, is now with Uhuru. The other day, when they were in that county, you had the speech by Kapsaret Member of Parliament, Oscar Sudi, pleading to the Luo nation, pleading to the Luos. In fact, they were like they've agreed that a Luo is going to be appointed a cabinet secretary in Uasin Gishu, that a lawyer is going to be appointed due to what position, and that Kikuyus will also have their space. So it means they understand the dynamics. So which means if Uhuru got 74% in that election, chances of Ruto getting lower figures are high. Let me take you to now the most interesting county of all this. The most interesting county of all these is actually Nakuru County. Nakuru has 1 million registered voters. Actually, 1,050,000 registered voters. 1 million registered voters. Out of this 1 million, 80% voted for Uhuru and Ruto, which is 800,000 votes. 800. Nakuru. In Nakuru at that time, 17% voted for Raila. That is 170 in Nakuru because of the lawyer, the Kisis, the Luos in that county. I'm saying that this county is interesting because this is where the Rigathi factor is being played as a card. Rigathi was a DO in Molo. According to William Ruto's strategy, Rigathi Gachagua is going to campaign in the larger Mount Kenya region, but not, in the entire Rift Valley, but not in Nakuru. Why? Because of the Molo factor. So the Kikuyu nation in Molo, because Molo was previously a big constituency, don't have kind words for Rigathi. Most of them don't regard him. Most of them have bad memories of him. Most of them are just waiting to vote him out. Which means the number of Kikuyus in Nakuru County, if they're 100%, there's a chance that 40% of them, or even 30% of them, will opt and vote against Rigathi. So if 30% of the Kikuyu nation will not vote for Rigathi and the ticket, it means they'll be voting for Raila. So if Raila had 17% that time, his figures could increase to around 40 or 50. Game of numbers. I just want to end there. I wanted to go to Mombasa, but Mombasa I'm saving as a big headache for Raila. Mombasa County gave Raila 69%, Uhuru 24%. Until next time, game of numbers. I think this is interesting.